So this first DIY is a fun vase that I think would look great in your bedroom or living room. So you're gonna need to pick up 2 different vases from Dollar Tree. Next, I wanted to do a fun paint pour technique on the smaller vase. Lately, I've been noticing in a lot of high-end decor, a lot of metallic colors that seem to be really popular right now. I also like to use those small Dixie cups because they're great for mixing up paint. So I'm gonna start with my base, which is usually always white paint. I put a little bit of white shimmer paint in there, and then I also added in a little bit of white chalk paint. Whenever I do a base for my paint pour, I like to add in just a little bit of water and mix that together. I find that it helps the paint to run a little bit better. Then I'm gonna come in with a variety of metallic paints. I had golds, rose golds, silvers, and I just added those all to my cup. I also kind of mix them around, but this is preference, so you can either mix them around or you can just keep them stationary. So whenever I start a paint pour, I get out something that I don't mind all the paint dripping on and putting that down first. Next, I got a little throwaway plastic plate to put down, and then I put my vase upside down on top of that. From there, I'm just gonna start by pouring the paint down over my vase. As I was doing this, it was a little bit more white than I was wanting it to be because I used quite a bit of white paint. I just added a few of those metallic colors to my container so that I could pour them back on. So if you see a color that you want more of, just keep adding until you get that desired look that you want. The real magic is when that paint just kind of trickles down and you get those fun little shapes. Now leave this sitting almost overnight. Like, you don't want to mess with it. Allow the paint to just kind of pour the rest of the way off. When you come back to it in the morning, it's going to look amazing. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take that smaller vase and put it inside of the larger vase. And here is how this piece turned out. So I was on Pottery Barn's website looking for a little bit of inspiration, and I saw this set of marble like soap containers, toothbrush holders, and I thought we could recreate this from Dollar Tree. So I picked up a tray, soap dish, soap container, and toothbrush holder. And some of them were already white, but I wanted them to all be the same colors. So I just started by spraying those with 2 coats of white spray paint. Next, I wanted to give them a marble appearance. So what I did was I grabbed a tub of water. Now, you guys have seen me do this on my channel before, and I wanted them to be like a gray color. So I had this spray paint that was kind of like a translucent that I decided to use for this project. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna spray your spray paint on the top of the water. What that's gonna do is it's gonna create fun little patterns. Then you can take your items and dip them into the water. Once you pull your item up, you're going to see whatever design you put in the water on your container. So I repeated this with all of my items to give them a marbled finish. I did have a little bit of trouble with the tray. I kind of had to move it around to get it in the water where I wanted it to. And the thing is if you don't feel like they have enough paint on them, just add more paint to your water and put your items back in until you get that desired look. Now, another thing I do when I pull the items out, I'll take a paper towel and kind of wipe off any excess that I don't like the look of, and that just kind of helps as you're going through the process. Here's how my Dollar Tree marble containers look styled on my vanity. I wanted to give you some other options you could create with florals that were actually, really neat, large wall pieces. So I came up with this idea, and honestly, I love the way it turned out. And it's a massive piece of wall art. So you're going to want to go to Dollar Tree, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, anywhere that you can purchase florals. You're gonna gather some large fall color florals that you think will work together. I'm gonna start with these 2 large bundles. These are actually from Hobby Lobby. And I'm gonna take those large bundles and put the bottom portions together so that the top of the stems are pointing one way on one of the bundles and the other way on the other. I'm going to take the zip tie that was already on the bundle, and I'm just going to zip tie these 2 together. Now I wanted the edges of my branches to kind of be spread out at the end. So as I was doing this, I was kind of spreading the branches out on either side. Next, I came in with some wheat style branches from Hobby Lobby. I cut them off the stems and I just placed them where I thought they looked nice. And then I used my hot glue gun to hot glue them underneath those existing stems. You want to make sure that you tuck that bottom piece so that you don't see it. And then Dollar Tree has these gorgeous stems out right now that I'm so in love with them. They're so natural and beautiful looking. I'm gonna take 3 of those and place those in my arrangement. The more variation and texture that you can have, the more fuller your display is going to look. Next, I flipped a piece on the front and I wanted to cover up that center area. So I grabbed a couple of those wheat branches. I twisted them together so you couldn't see the bottom ends and then hot glued that in the center. So that's gonna cover up any imperfections from where I was gluing or zip tying. Next, I'll flip the entire piece on the back, and as I was doing this, some of the pieces were kind of coming undone, so then I went in with some additional hot glue just to really reinforce things. You could also add in zip ties on the back as well. Now to hang this, I wanted it to look really natural, so I grabbed some of my nautical rope. I'll link the one in the description box that I use, and I'm going to just be hot gluing it to the sides of my branches. So in order for it to stay, I'm really gonna have to get that glue on several of the branches so that the nautical rope can hold and be secure in place. You can hang this on your wall with a simple nail. I hung this up in my bedroom. It is massive and I just love it. You guys are gonna have to let me know what you think of this piece down in the comments. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.